What's up, guys? I've been playing my version of a new tabletop role-playing game based off the Powered by the Apocalypse system. And I've been playing it in a bunch of different genres because the game is set in an endless amount of genres. The simple facet, I guess, the simple explanation of it is that there's an app that's been created and people can log into it and then transport their identity into a bunch of different genres, whatever it is, and then they can play through there. So it's kind of like a lit RPG type thing. It's based off personality type, specifically the cognitive functions, and there are a bunch of different moves that are based off that. Now, it's very difficult for me to play test it all the time because I got 2 kids and business and life, just all these different things and time zones. And so I've been playing it by myself. And this is a recent version that I've been doing. This is in my Pirate Tales setting, which I created so many years ago. It's kind of like a 1980s, 1990s cartoon vibe with a bunch of anthropomorphic animals that are pirates that are sailing through this Enneagram-based world. So there are 9 different continents, actually 10, because there's one in the middle that I created, and they're fighting against the world government or kind of navigating the world government's desires to control things. And they're setting out for freedom. I watch a lot of One Piece, and that's kind of where it came from. And so the cognitive functions are based off, or the cognitive functions are used to create these different characters. And so I want to run through one play of my game. I've played it with my friends years ago, as I was still refining the system. I guess it's endlessly being refined, although the playbook's almost there. Anyway, so I want to tell you the story of Teil and his pirate crew. Okay, so let me just enjoy this process. Oh, it does let me scroll a little bit. Okay, so this is kind of behind the scenes and kind of, me going through the story. So I told it the rules of how to play the game and the agendas, the principles of Powered by the Apocalypse. There's not too much dice rolling in this, and there's not a lot of specific moves. I do that all off screen because the thing's gonna get confused. So I just say I got a triumph, which is a complete success. So what I wanted succeeded, or I got a complicated success, which means I got what I wanted, and yet there's an issue. Something didn't quite work out. There's a problem, a catch. Failing forward. And then there's fail. I failed. Bad things happen. So I explained how to run the game. And I said, when you're ready, you understand it, then give me 3 mission options. I chose the one that I wanted. Mission 1, I want to be, it's up here. Okay, the sunken treasure of Captain Whiskers. A mysterious map has been discovered leading to the long-lost treasure of the legendary pirate Captain Whiskers. The journey will be filled with dangerous obstacles, treacherous waters, and cunning rivals seeking the same prize. The mission will be an exciting adventure filled with action, suspense, and the thrill of discovery. I thought that was pretty good. So I was like, that's the one I want. Good job. And I gave it my character. I want to be a turtle named Teil. He's an ISTJ. He carries the chain and anchor from his past ship around, and he uses it as a weapon. He's covered in scars, and he's what I call, in the RPG model, a strategizing guardian. If you've watched some of my older videos, a couple of years ago maybe, when I talk about introverted sensing, you might have seen a picture of a turtle carrying an anchor with some scars. Black and white picture drawn by Hank Renfrenail from Runehammer or Drunkens and Dragons. So that's my character. That's my go-to character. When I think of introverted sensing, This is who pops up. You are Tail, a turtle pirate known as the strategizing guardian. Okay, sometimes there's a little bit of confusion with the AI. That's okay. I forgive. It's okay. It's a little strange sometimes. You carry a chain and anchor from your past ship as a weapon, and your body is covered in scars, each telling a story of your past adventures. Your ISTJ personality type makes you a reliable and strategic thinker, always planning several steps ahead. Your crew has just set sail towards the location indicated on the mysterious map, hoping to find the sunken treasure of Captain Whiskers. The sea is calm, and the wind fills your sails as you navigate through the vast ocean. Your crew is excited and anxious, knowing that the journey ahead will be filled with danger and discovery. As you stand on the deck of your ship, you spot a group of seagulls circling in the distance. You know that this could be a sign of land or something else of interest. Your crew looks to you for guidance. What do you do? So what happens a lot of times with the AI is that I say what I want and then it kind of repeats it again. It changes a couple words or something. It kind of like crafts it a little bit better. So I ask the lookout position to check for land nearby. Look alive, boys. Lookout, in parentheses. I see seagulls. Please create 3 crew members of various animal and MBTI types with various skill sets. Replace lookout with the most fitting. So I wanted it to follow, my directions and then also create my crew for me instead of me telling it what my crew is. Although, I have my own personal crew as an INFP. I have the characters that I go to, but I wanted this to be a little bit fresh. You call to your lookout a skilled rabbit pirate named Hops McCarrot, who has an ENFP personality type. Hops is known for his keen eyesight and ability to spot danger from afar. He's also quite energetic and enthusiastic, making him a valuable and positive member of the crew. I was so happy to read these crew members. I was like, oh, they're so good. So good. It just makes me happy. I don't know why. I just like animal pirates and different personality types being represented by animals. There's like another layer of symbolic chef's kiss in there. Among your other crew members are Scarlet Red Beaksworth, a parrot with an INTP personality type. She's the ship's navigator and is known for her sharp intellect and ability to decipher complex maps and charts. Her logical thinking and analytical skills make her an essential part of the crew. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, right? Gruff Pawsley, a bear with an ESFJ personality type. Gruff serves as the ship's quartermaster and is responsible for managing supplies and maintaining order among the crew. His strong sense of duty and loyalty make him a reliable and trusted member of the team. As Hops McCarrot scans the horizon, he calls out, "Captain!" I guess he's a bunny. Huh? "Captain, there's a small island up ahead." I gotta work on my voice acting skills. "Looks like it could be a good place to rest and resupply." What do you do? So I told it to create a bunch of images for these characters so that I could have a clearer visual. I told it as in, give me the description, and then I'm going to pass that to Midjourney AI, and Midjourney is going to give me the images. We had some back and forths. It was being confusing. Okay, back to the story. I tell my crew to prepare to drop anchor and deboard using shipping jargon. We get into dinghies and reach the beach. Do I see anything interesting? So you kind of have to lead the AI to make it more interesting sometimes, or it will either just finish the whole story for you, or it'll just kind of keep things a little bland. This is something that I'm learning to improve on. Crew, prepare to drop anchor and lower the boats. We're heading ashore. You command using proper nautical terminology. Thanks, AI. Your crew quickly follows your orders, and soon enough, you and your crew members are on the dinghies rowing towards the beach. As you approach the island, you notice that it's mostly covered in lush vegetation, with tall palm trees swaying in the gentle breeze. The beach itself is made up of fine white sand, and there are various seashells scattered along the shorelines. You can hear the distant sounds of exotic birds and the rustling of leaves as the wind passes through the trees. Upon closer inspection, you spot a small cave entrance hidden behind some overgrown foliage, just at the edge of the beach. The cave seems to be partially submerged in water, and you can't see much beyond the entrance. It piques your curiosity, and you wonder if it could be connected to the sunken treasure of Captain Whiskers. What do? I point out the cave to the crew members, but mention that we should set up camp first just in case. Gotta remind you on this. Actually, I haven't told you, so this is a first time knowledge. As I'm nursing my son, feeding him, giving him his bottle and stuff in the middle of the night, this is when I get the most story time creation done. So it's some of it's a little a little spacey. That's okay though. Where are we? Our mates, look yonder, you exclaim, pointing towards the cave entrance. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll set up camp first, just in case we need to make a hasty retreat to spend the night here. Your crew nods in agreement, and you all start working together to set up a temporary camp on the beach. The crew members gather firewood, pitch tents, and secure the dinghies. Gruff Pawsley, as the quartermaster, ensures that everyone has enough food and water. Very ESFJ, thank you very much. While Scarlet Red Beaksworth helps to keep an eye out for any potential threats. She's probably Enneagram 5, looking out for potential threats and, maintaining her distance. Might be a 6, we'll see. With the camp now set up, you gather your crew and prepare to explore the mysterious cave. You grab a lantern and Hops McCarrot eagerly volunteers to scout ahead. His keen eyesight and natural agility making him the perfect candidate for the job. As you approach the cave entrance, the sound of the waves crashing against the rocks becomes louder, and a cool, damp breeze blows from within. You can't help but feel a sense of excitement and anticipation as you venture into the unknown. What do you do? So I'm teaching the AI here, okay, if there's ever a chance of danger or failure that is important to the plot, please ask me to roll. It's not like I'm going to trip over my feet, but if there's something important, ask me to roll. And then I say I do my best to follow Hop's lead and delve deeper into the cave. I just imagine the tortoise and the hare, he's just taken off. Oh God. ISTJ is chill, let's scout it out first. As you follow Hop's lead, you delve deeper into the cave. The light from your lantern casts eerie shadows on the cave walls, revealing various stalactites and stalagmites. The air inside the cave is cool and damp, and the sound of dripping water echoes throughout the cavern. After a while, you reach a fork in the cave. Hops pauses and sniffs the air, trying to determine which path to take. He seems uncertain, so you decide to make a choice. So it gave me a really interesting method of rolling. I was thinking I was going to use some skills, or it would say, check your abilities, but no, it just did 1 to 3 and 4 to 6. So choose which path you'll take. And I rolled and chose the right path. Hopefully it is the right path, metaphorically speaking. Although I've played this out, but this is nice reviewing this. Seriously, this session has taken a week or 2. And I'm quite spacey most of the time when I'm playing it, so that's fun. All right. You decide to choose the right path, trusting your instincts. Trust your instincts to choose the right path. You signal to Hops and the rest of the crew to follow you as you venture further into the cave. The passage narrows, and the air becomes cooler and damper as you continue. You notice the sound of water flowing somewhere up ahead. After a while, the path opens up into a larger chamber where you find an underground stream flowing through the cave. The water is crystal clear, and you can see various colorful fish swimming in it. On the other side of the stream, you notice a peculiar marking on the cave wall. It appears to be an old, worn-out map, possibly left behind by Captain Whiskers or another pirate. You carefully cross the stream, making sure not to slip on the wet rocks. I don't know if a turtle, I don't know if he just got some funny images. Once you reach the other side, you take a closer look at the map. It seems to be a treasure map marked with an X in a specific location on the island. Excited about your discovery, you share the information with your crew. You all discuss the best course of action to find the treasure and decide to follow the map's directions. Good choice. My leg is up, not because I'm posing, but because I need to care for my knee. What do I do next? So I ask, is there anything else left to find or pillage in this cave clearing? So again, kind of set it up, and it's like, okay, maybe there is. Let me see. You decide to take a moment to thoroughly examine the cave chamber before leaving. You instruct your crew to search for anything that might be of value or interest. As the crew scatters and investigates the chamber, you take a closer look at the area around the treasure map on the wall. While most of the crew doesn't find anything significant, Hops McCarrot discovers a small hidden alcove behind a cluster of stalagmites. Inside the alcove, there's a dusty old wooden chest bound with rusty iron straps. It looks like it's been hidden here for quite some time. You carefully open the chest, revealing its contents. Inside, you find an assortment of valuable items, including gold coins, precious gemstones, and a few pieces of intricately crafted jewelry. It seems like Captain Whiskers, or another pirate, may have stashed some of their loot in this cave. With this newfound treasure in hand, you and your crew feel even more motivated to follow the treasure map and uncover the main hoard of Captain Whiskers' legendary sunken treasure. You gather your crew, secure the chest, and prepare to leave the cave and return to the camp. What do you do? With Powered by the Apocalypse, always, what do you do? What's your next step? This is the situation. What do you do? So I say we return to the cave as we make light conversation and jest. Then, noticing that the day is getting late, I say we need to find some grubs because it would be weird to eat animals in a world of anthropomorphic animals. This is something that I've been trying to wrap my head around, like when it said, we saw seagulls flying around. Are they like humanoid seagulls? Are they just like animal seagulls? And what's the ramifications of having different types of seagulls? You see my confusion with this? How does it work in Zootopia? I have no idea. I guess maybe they're all mammals, maybe. So we're talking about grubs and insects. You and your crew make your way back through the cave. You engage in light conversation and jest, sharing stories and laughter together. The camaraderie among your crew is strong. Yes. And it's clear that you all share a deep bond. Upon exiting the cave and returning to the camp, you notice that the day is indeed getting late. The sun is beginning to set, casting a warm golden light across the beach. You decide that it's time to find some food for dinner. Our crew, let's find us some grubs for supper, you exclaim, mindful of the fact that eating animals would be inappropriate in a world of anthropomorphic creatures. See, it just repeats it sometimes. I gotta work on how to prompt properly with that. Your crew nods in agreement, and you all begin to search the surrounding area for edible plants, fruits, and insects. I didn't even think about fruits when I was talking about it, which is strange because the turtle would probably eat fruit. After a while, you manage to gather a decent meal of grubs, along with some ripe fruits and edible roots. You and your crew gather around the campfire, roasting the grubs on skewers and sharing the fruits and roots. As you eat and enjoy each other's company, the sun dips below the horizon, and the stars begin to appear in the night sky. As the evening progresses, You discuss your plans for the following day, including following the treasure map and searching for Captain Whisker's sunken treasure. With anticipation and excitement in the air, you and your crew eventually retire to your tents for a well-deserved rest. What do you do? So here I was like, come on. It's a little bit too like Disney, like soft Disney. So we need a bit more drama, I says. Maybe the locals are aware of our presence. And then I rolled, and it was no. I think I rolled like, what are the chances? 1 to 100 that the locals have seen us arrive. And I was like, it's probably likely, and which is maybe like 1 to 75. So if it falls within 1 to 75, then okay, that's what it is. And I think it was over that, so it didn't. It wasn't it. But some sort of complication. As you and your crew settle down for the night, the sounds of the island lull you into a sense of security. However, just as you're about to drift off to sleep, you hear a faint noise outside your tent. It sounds like the rustling of leaves and the snapping of twigs. You try to dismiss it as just the wind or some harmless wildlife, but something feels off. You decide to investigate the noise, carefully stepping out of your tent and scanning the area. The moonlight casts long shadows across the camp, making it difficult to discern anything out of the ordinary. As you strain your ears to listen, you hear the sound again, this time accompanied by hushed whispers. You quickly wake up your crew, signaling them to be quiet and alert. You all gather around the campfire, weapons at the ready, and wait to see what's causing the disturbance. Suddenly, a group of shadowy figures emerge from the dense foliage surrounding your camp. They're not locals, but rather a rival pirate crew, led by the notorious Captain Blackclaw. It seems they've been following you, hoping to steal the treasure map and claim Captain Whisker's sunken treasure for themselves. As the tension rises, you know that a confrontation is inevitable. You grip your weapon tightly, ready to defend your crew and claim to the treasure. What do you do next? Aye, Black Claws, I knew ye'd be showing your maws again someday. Looking for another lesson in open combat? I snicker, and it repeats it. Captain Blackclaw sneers at you, his eyes narrowing in anger. You got lucky last time, but don't think it'll happen again. This time, we'll be the ones walking away with the treasure. Your crew stands ready, their weapons drawn, and their faces determined. The rival pirates hesitate for a moment, sizing up your crew and weighing their options. The tension in the air is palpable. With a fierce battle cry, you charge towards Captain Blackclaw and his crew, your own crew following closely behind. Steel clashes against steel as the two crews engage in fierce combat, each side fighting to claim the treasure map and assert their dominance. As you exchange blows with the Captain Blackclaw, you notice that he seems more desperate than before, his attacks less calculated and more reckless. You take advantage of his desperation, landing a few solid hits and putting him on the defensive. The rest of your crew fights valiantly, using their skills and teamwork to overpower the rival pirates. Slowly but surely, the tide of battle begins to turn in your favor. What do you do next? What do you do next? So I remind it, okay, use the rules, buddy. If there's a chance of drama or failure, I need to roll for it. And it gives me the results, okay, of what kind of a roll would amount to what. And I decide to break it into 3 scenes. So I rewind. Instead of determining the whole battle, let's do 3 scenes. I do not charge in. I'm an ISTJ, what I call the strategizing guardian in my RPG model, and I give it some more information about the RPG model. I size up the crew, and I learned much. So I rolled to determine if I was successful for this, and I'm just telling it. I'm saying, hey, this is what I did. I size up their crew. I learned much from our encounter and have a few experiential insights into their fighting styles. What are they? So I rolled a triumph, which is the biggest success. So it did it. I did it. I did what I wanted. Okay. So give me clear and good info. Because an ISTJ would not just charge in. He would stop and think, what have I seen before? How have I been through this before? Let me create a strategy. As a strategizing guardian ISTJ, you decide to take a more calculated approach to the situation. You carefully size up the rival crew, recalling your previous encounters and lessons you've learned from them. You remember 3 key insights into their fighting styles, and this was good. This is what I wanted. Number 1, Captain Blackclaw's impatience. During your last encounter, you noticed that Captain Blackclaw tends to become impatient and reckless as the battle progresses, leaving him vulnerable to well-timed counterattacks. As you use this knowledge to bait him into making a mistake, you can use this knowledge to bait him into making a mistake and exploit it to your advantage. So that was good. 2, the quartermaster's predictable patterns. You recall that their quartermaster, a skilled swordsman, tends to rely on a set of predictable attack patterns. By recognizing these patterns, you can anticipate his moves and counter them effectively, neutralizing his threat. And the crew's reliance on numbers. The rival crew primarily relies on their numbers to overwhelm their opponents. However, you've observed that their coordination and teamwork are lacking. Scrubs. By focusing on dividing and isolating them, you can negate their numerical advantage and turn the tide into your favor. So I share that with my crew, and I needed some more visual clarity for Blackclaw and the quartermaster, and it gave me some good ones. So Captain Blackclaw is a large, imposing anthropomorphic alligator with dark green scales and piercing yellow eyes. He wears a tattered red captain's coat adorned with gold trim and several medals, signifying his numerous victories and conquests. His fearsome appearance is further accentuated by a wide-brimmed black hat with a skull and crossbones emblem, and a sharp carved cutlass hangs at his side. The quartermaster, on the other hand, is a tall, slender anthropomorphic fox with reddish-orange fur and a cunning gaze. He's dressed in a neatly tailored navy blue waistcoat and a crisp white shirt, giving him an air of sophistication. A rapier with an ornately decorated hilt is sheathed at his hip, and a pair of dueling pistols are holstered across his chest. His quick reflexes and agile movements make him a formidable opponent in combat. So I tell it what to do, and then it recites it, so I'll just read that. Looks like we're in for a brawl here, fellas, you say, gripping the chain of your anchor weapon tightly. You start swinging it around, creating a protective barrier between you and the rival pirates. Gotta have some distance there, right? Your crewmates, Hops and Scarlet, take their positions ready to defend themselves as well. At some point, the bear just disappeared. Like, he's not even part of the crew anymore. And I didn't notice it until I started explaining this, reviewing it, which is unfortunate because I liked it. It might be saying something about an INFP that he forgets the ESFJ sub-member of his party. As in, I'm an INFP. There could be something with ISTJs too. Who knows? As you anticipated, Captain Blackclaw's impatience gets the better of him. He lets out a growl of frustration and charges in, attempting to break through your defensive barrier. He swings his cutlass widely, leaving himself exposed to a well-timed counterattack. You seize the opportunity, using the momentum of your swinging anchor to catch him off guard. The heavy anchor connects with Blackclaw, knocking him back and momentarily disorienting him. Meanwhile, Hops and Scarlet engage the quartermaster and the rest of the rival crew in combat. They skillfully parry and dodge the quartermaster's predictable attack patterns, using their knowledge of his fighting style to their advantage. Pays to share information, I suppose. The battle rages on with your crew working together to divide and isolate the rival pirates, negating their numerical advantage. Your strategy seems to be working, but the outcome of the battle is still uncertain. What do you do? So hopefully that was part 1, and then I wanted it to move on to the next part, because I said it should split up into 3. So I say I plan on using my shell to block an attack, and then putting my sword up to his throat, assuming I have a sword too, suggesting that he move along. So I didn't want to kill him, and in like 1990s cartoons, I thought it would be too violent. So I just, I wanted to put it up here, but I failed. So that's not good. As the battle continues to unfold, you spot an opening to end the fight with Captain Blackclaw. You charge towards him, planning to use your shell to block an attack and then put your sword up to his throat, hoping to force him to surrender. However, your roll was unsuccessful. Thank you for reminding me. As you approach, Blackclaw regains his composure and sees your move coming. He sidesteps your charge, and you end up missing your opportunity to block his attack. With a swift motion, Blackclaw counters by landing a heavy blow to your side, sending you sprawling across the deck. I guess we ended up at a deck. That's kind of weird. Your crewmates, Hops and Scarlet, see you in trouble and quickly rush towards your aid. The battle intensifies, and it's clear that the situation has taken a turn for the worse. What do you do next? So I say what I want it to do, and I rolled a triumph, and then I told it, don't tell me I write a triumph. I rolled a triumph, just narrate the thing. I'm getting too old for this, you think to yourself as you tuck yourself into your shell for a brief moment, catching your breath and reassessing the situation. Where did I go wrong? As you replay Blackclaw's move in your mind, you suddenly have a moment of clarity. You realize that his counterattack left him overextended, and he's now struggling to regain his balance. This is the perfect opportunity to turn the tide of the battle in your favor. You quickly emerge from your shell, your determination renewed. You launch yourself at Blackclaw. I don't know. Using the momentum of your charge to catch him off guard. Before he can react, you manage to pin him down, your sword pressed firmly against his throat. Looks like it's time for you to move along, you say, your voice steady and commanding. Seeing the captain defeated, the rival crew hesitates, unsure of what to do next. Hops and Scarlet seize the opportunity to press their advantage, further demoralizing the opponents. With Captain Blackclaw at your mercy, and his crew faltering, it seems that victory is finally within your grasp. So I had to clarify. I was like, did he actually yield? As you hold your sword against Captain Blackclaw's throat, his eyes dart around, searching for an escape. However, he quickly realizes that he's cornered, and his crew is on the brink of defeat. With a mixture of frustration and resignation, he finally yields. All right, Blackclaw growls. I don't know what voice. You've bested me this time. They all sound the same. You've bested me this time. What do you want? His crew, witnessing their captain's surrender, follows suit and lays down their weapons. Hops and Scarlet stand triumphantly beside you, ready to enforce your demands. With Blackclaw and his crew now at your mercy, you have the power to decide their fate and claim any spoils from this hard-fought victory. So I asked AI if Blackclaw was known for any powerful loot, and I thought it was likely. So, I had it determine that for itself. Given Blackclaw's reputation as a formidable pirate, it is likely that he has acquired some valuable and powerful loot during his many exploits. After securing the surrender of Blackclaw and his crew, you decide to search their ship for any such treasures. As you rummage through the ship's hold, your efforts are rewarded when you come across a finely crafted chest, adorned with intricate carvings and sparkling gemstones. It's clear that this chest contains something of great value. With anticipation, you open the chest and find a legendary artifact, a magical compass known as the Eye of the Wind. This enchanted compass is said to reveal the location of hidden treasures and uncharted lands, guiding its wielder to unimaginable riches and adventures. The discovery of the Eye of the Wind marks a significant victory for you and your crew, not only in defeating the notorious Captain Blackclaw, but also in obtaining a powerful tool that could lead to even more or even greater fortunes. So I tell it what to say. I'll be taking this as payment for sparing your life, and you are to leave us be, you say to Blackclaw, holding the Eye of the Wind firmly in your grasp. He scowls at you but nods begrudgingly, understanding that he has no choice but to accept your terms. With the enchanted compass in your possession, you and your crew make your way back to your camp. The mood is triumphant, as everyone is aware of the significance of your victory and the potential that the Eye of the Wind holds for your future endeavors. As you settle back into your camp, you can't help but feel a sense of excitement and anticipation for the new adventures that lie ahead. With the Eye of the Wind as your guide, the world is now filled with endless possibilities and untold treasures waiting to be discovered. So I tell it that we set traps up around the camp, and Hop's ears are amazing and should be able to pick up any sounds of incoming trouble. And I rolled triumph, and there was nothing to worry about. We made it out easy peasy, and then it narrates it. Feeling the need to secure your camp after the recent confrontation, you and your crew decide to set up traps around the perimeter. Hops, with his exceptional hearing, takes the lead in this task, ensuring that the traps are placed strategically to maximize their effectiveness. I don't know if he would do that very well, but maybe. As you work together to fortify your camp, you can't help but feel a sense of camaraderie and unity within your crew. The shared victory over Blackclaw has only served to strengthen your bond and trust in one another. With the traps in place and Hop's keen ears on alert, you settle in for the night, confident in the safety of your camp. As it turns out, your precautions prove to be more than enough. The night passes peacefully, with no sign of trouble or any unwelcome visitors. The triumph, so it narrates it again, the triumph allows you and your crew to rest easy, knowing that you are well prepared and ready to face whatever new challenges and adventures the future holds. So I say, what happens? I wake up early, as a good ISTJ might do, and begin preparing a meal while strategizing for how to get to Whisker's fortune. We've seen the map, we just need to take steps to get there. Lean into that extroverted thinking. You wake up early, feeling refreshed and eager to start the day. As the first rays of sunlight peek over the horizon, you begin preparing a hearty meal for your crew, knowing that a good breakfast is essential for the journey ahead. Although that is probably the quartermaster's job, quartermaster doesn't exist anymore. While the food simmers over the fire, you take out the treasure map that leads to Whisker's hidden riches. You study the map carefully, tracing the path with your finger and mentally planning the best route to reach your destination. As your crew begins to stir, they join you in discussing the day's plans. Together, you decide on the following steps to get to Whisker's treasure. 1. Set sail at first light, taking advantage of the favorable winds and calm seas. 2. Navigate through the treacherous reefs and rocky outcroppings that guard the entrance to the hidden cove where the treasure is buried. 3. Anchor your ship in a concealed spot, ensuring that it remains undetected while you and your crew explore the island. 4. Follow the clues on the map, which will lead you through dense jungles, steep cliffs, and hidden caves, all the while keeping an eye out for potential dangers and rival treasure hunters. 5. Locate the buried treasure, using the map's final riddle to pinpoint its exact location. With your strategy in place, you and your crew well fed and eager for adventure, you break camp and set sail towards the hidden cove, ready to claim Whisker's treasure and cement your reputation as one of the most daring and resourceful pirates in the realm. That's some nice words there. Daring and resourceful. So when I was telling it this, or when it told me this, I was a little bit worried that it wouldn't be able to remember all the steps. And I certainly wouldn't either. But things happen. Things change. So I said let's start with number 2, which was to navigate through the reef. Let's start with number 2. Who would be responsible for navigating through the dangerous reefs and rocky outcropping? Not Rocky like the movie, but it capitalized it. As the captain, I would be responsible for overseeing the navigation through the dangerous reefs and rocky outcroppings. However, it says you have skilled and experienced crew members who can assist you in this crucial task. Scarlet, your first mate, is an excellent navigator with a keen eye for detail. Her knowledge of the local waters and experience in maneuvering through treacherous terrain would be invaluable in guiding the ships safely through the obstacles. Additionally, Hops, with his extraordinary hearing, can listen for any unusual sounds or changes in the water that might indicate hidden dangers beneath the surface. His ability to pick up on the subtlest of cues could help you avoid potential hazards that might not be visible to the naked eye. Together, you, Scarlet, and Hops form a formidable team, each bringing unique skills and talents to the table. With careful planning, precise maneuvering, and constant communication, you are well prepared to navigate your ship through the dangerous reefs and rocky outcroppings that stand between you and Whisker's treasure. I think this is where I'm going to stop this video. It does go on. Things happen. It takes quite a twist, but this is where I'm going to stop because my throat is a bit tired from all of this. If you enjoyed me going through this story, then maybe I'll do some more. Maybe I'll do it in parts and pieces, or different adventures, different genres, different personality types. It's a lot of fun for me, just exploring different potential worlds and stories, as well as different parts of myself, acting as the ISTJ. Although I didn't do too much role playing within this, maybe it's something I could do within a live stream, with your feedback and input. Maybe it's something that we could create together, or I could just work on my role playing skills and see what happens. But I'm curious about your feedback on this kind of video, and what would you do? What would you do as your character, as yourself, or as an ISTJ? What do you think I could have done differently, or should have done differently? Or what did I do right? Please affirm me. Notice me. Let me know. Bye.